Joined now by Chet, who played minor league baseball for the New York Yankees, was a Libby High School graduate. And first off, Chet, let me ask you this. How important is it to keep the legacy of Libby High School going? Because obviously Libby's been closed for a number of years now, but particularly in this class, quite a few Libby grads.
Absolutely, and of course the stadium, Libby is no longer there, but if I had and could live 4 years of my life over, it would be being in high school at Libby. That's what it meant to me. It was just a great experience, especially when I became a sophomore and was on the varsity team, and there was baseball. So Libby just is endearing to me, and even though the building is down, it's still strong in my heart.
As a kid growing up in Toledo in the 50s, you go off, sign with the New York Yankees. What was it like being a part of that great Yankees dynasty of the late 50s, early 60s?
Okay. I don't know if I have the proper word to describe what a feeling it was to, as I went on that field for the first time in spring training. Then there's Mandel, and there's Maris, and there's Elston Howard, Whitey Ford, all these players that I watched as a youngster. I rooted against. They're mainly beating the Brooklyn Dodgers. But here I am because I initially signed a basketball scholarship for Bowling Green. And then back then, if you became a professional in one sport, you couldn't participate in the other. So I couldn't play basketball at Bowling Green. And I would not have signed with any other team but the Yankees, because there was a few others, Cleveland and Detroit. But there was something about the Yankees, and they came to my house and took me to New York for 3 or 4 days and worked me out. And here's an 18-year-old kid that had never really been away from home, never flown on an airplane, and I'm in the big city. I'm in the clubhouse with these stars, and again, for 3 years, or for those 3 days, they wanted to see me run, hit, and after that, I did sign with them, and they did call it as a bonus baby, yes.
You mentioned the Brooklyn Dodgers. 1947, Jackie Robinson integrates the game. 15 years later, you're in Fort Lauderdale, and you kind of had that experience of having to be a trailblazer then.
Right. Yes, especially on my minor league teams. First it was Fort Lauderdale Yankees when I was the only black, and I had a good year. From that year, I went on to the major league roster. The second year, I was in Greensboro. 63, 64, and of course the Civil Rights Bill had not been passed, and so I experienced some trying things, but in all, it kind of made me a better person. I wouldn't want to go through some of those things, but it gave me empathy and understanding, even when I didn't agree with some of the things that were happening to me. I think if you get an understanding, you won't come out bitter with a chip on your shoulder. And again, I always say this, I work for a Sylvania school system as director of diversity. And some of those 63 to 69 experiences give me a kind of, as I repeat, a better understanding of people. Even though, again, I wouldn't want to do some of that stuff again, but I know what fear is, I know what hate is, I know what love is, and so I'm using all what has happened to me to hopefully, when I do depart this earth, that I've left something behind that's going to help someone.
And you are using that platform. You talk about love and working with Sylvania Schools, working very actively in the church as well. You are certainly preaching and teaching and showing that love on a daily basis here in the Glass City.
Right, and I think that's what it's all about. Love overcomes any and everything. It can be trying, it can be challenging, but when you love, which means you'll do the utmost good for that object intended, that you will sacrifice certain things for the benefit of others, and you might not see the immediate profit of it, but I just think overall it will help somebody else in the end.
What does it mean for you tonight, this weekend, being honored with the African American Legacy Project?
Okay. it's just a great honor to be considered by others, that they think enough of you that they would bestow an honor like that upon you. I can remember in the Libby Hall of Fame and the City League Hall of Fame, and I was an official, and they put me into that Hall of Fame as well. So this is, again, it's just an honor. It just makes you feel good that somebody thought enough of what you were doing that they wanted to honor you with. And of course, you have to thank all the people that surround you, because without them, it wouldn't happen. I got a wife of 55 years, and she should go in the Hall of Fame just putting up with me all this time. But I'm deeply touched and honored.
All right, thank you very much. Bishop Chet Trail being honored this weekend as part of the African American Legacy Series.